Hi everyone, I just uploaded a short video about three of the most highly recommended beginner's thought book as of say circa 2014, early 2015. I did my research, I asked around a variety of very experienced thought reader, and most of them seem to have recommended those three books. The Marseille handbook for beginners are less contentious because the Thoth deck, I think, is based very much on Crowley's teaching, and so there's a degree of people whose fidelity to Crowley's teaching in terms of honoring the Thoth deck is more important than others. For someone like me, for example, I just want to learn how to read the Thoth deck, but it is quite important to understand Crowley's teaching as well. But then the issue is then to which degree do you go into Kabbalah and into Crowley's teaching to honor the Thoth deck as it was intended by Crowley. With Marseille Tarot, we don't have as much a dilemma. It is more flexible to interpretation, not only on its style, but also because it emerged from very closely to its playing card nature. We are effectively, to me at least, we are effectively working with a playing card, with playing cards, with a playing deck from the 1700s and the 1600s. And so it is a bit like trying to learn reading playing cards, but not modern playing cards. Instead, we're trying to learn how to read playing cards from the 1600s and 1700s. At least to me, at this stage, this is how I feel about it. And so there's a bit more room for a variety of it doesn't feel as contentious, I suppose, the recommendation. And when I research it, the most highly recommended book have consistently been this one here, Jean-Michel David. It is produced by ATS, Association for Tarot Studies, and you can buy this from www.fourhairs.com, that one there, Fourhares, four hairs as in the rabbit-like animal, or lulu.com. They are about $50 US. It is a wallop of a book. It is big, it's quite thick. Whether that's a reflection of the content or whether that's a reflection of the material it is made out of, I don't know. But I noticed that some people reacted in a way where this feels too expensive for them, but then we are now living in an age where Baba Studios decks cost over $100. Independently produced decks are consistently costing about $60 to $80 before shipment. And so this is $50, around about that US, before shipment, but it is a wealth of knowledge. It feels like a classroom in a book. It feels like when you miss out on lectures, and or classes, and your friends bring you the handout so that you can keep up. Or it felt like those those texts that is compiled specifically for a class that you have to buy when you register for a class. It doesn't feel textbook-ish. It feels more like a study guide. And so that lent itself very well to teaching beginners, I feel. But I know that if with a Thoth handbook for beginners, depending on which camp you're sitting on as a reader, the recommendation is branched into those three books that I showed you, which is why I couldn't decide, and I just got all three books. I basically just got the three top recommendation and just decided that I will have to decide for myself which one's best for me. For this, it has consistently been this one here. And then, so this is based, but it's very specifically based on the Noble 1650 deck. So that's probably the earliest, I'm not quite sure. So they specifically use that. I tried to use this with a different deck. I think I tried to use this with a later deck that's from the 1700s. And it is a bit tricky because they really discuss specific details of the artwork. And so a different edition will not have the same, so yeah, so that's to note. And then, of course, a couple of others. This one you probably heard already. This is Tarot, the Open Reading by Yoav, and the accompanying deck, I believe, is the CBD, which is the Convert Bendoff deck. That is his own version of the Convert deck. which he used throughout the book. I think he mainly produced the book, and then the deck follows to sort of as an appendix to the book. But I think now his CBD has become quite popular as a deck in itself. So that's that. And he is a student of, I have to mention this because it speaks to their approach to the Marseille. Alejandro Jodorowsky is his teacher. And so I think he is if you're into art house movies, into sort of, I think the 50s and 60s, I believe, he's a director. He's known in the art world and the movie world. And then this one here, Enriquez, you've probably seen these books in my other video about just showing you all the books that I have about tarot, related to tarot. This is the third book that I feel has, according to my research, at least as of a year or a year and a half ago. Camelia Elias, Marseille Tarot Towards the Art of Reading, is also highly recommended, highly quoted, and highly referred to. This is another approach to reading the Marseille, and these two guys have the same approach, Camelia Elias and Enriquez. But I just found that this is probably more of a next step book. This is called Tarology, and Tarology is mentioned in Alejandro Jodorowsky's book as well. And it says Tarology is a new psychological approach that uses the symbolism and optical language of the tarot to create a mirror image of the personality. So that's interesting, but I personally believe, or at least I would approach it as a next book, and as a next step book. But if there's any basic start-off point for me personally, I would pick these because it gives a good spread of the variety of approaches to the Marseille, or to reading the Marseille. But mainly, I think this has unequivocally, at least as of a year ago or a year and a half ago, been the most highly recommended book to start off with. You know, there isn't any one book that can provide us with everything that we need, but as a start-off point, this has been the most recommended book. So again, you can get this from lulu.com or forhairs.com, forhairs.com as in HARES, for about $50. Okay, bye everyone.